Hello, my name is Aaron. I am a certified metaphysical life coach, and this is part 2 in my series on manifesting a better life, where I am combining personal development and self-transformation with law of attraction and metaphysics in order to give you some framework, some how-to, some tips on going through your self-transformation process this year. If you haven't already watched part 1, where I give you a framework on how to just begin this journey, especially if you find yourself in a negative situation or negative energy, then you definitely want to watch that. It's going to help you develop your intention and your goals. In this section, in this video, we're going to be talking about how to create a personal development or a goal achievement plan. And of course, I'm going to be giving you some suggested activities on law of attraction and metaphysics and things like that. So you want to make sure you watch all the way to the end. And of course, I'm going to have some resources for you. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you can get notifications on all future videos. But let's go ahead and dive in. So step 1, of course, is going to be getting clarity and defining your intention. Now, you have goals which have predetermined outcomes, like you have a goal to lose 20 pounds or gain 20 pounds. You're working towards that desired predetermined outcome. Intentions are a little bit more flexible, so maybe you just have an intention to make healthier eating choices. Either way, you want to have a clarified goal or intention, and that is exactly what I walk you through in part 1 of this series. So if you haven't yet watched that, you definitely want to go ahead and check that out, but that's where you're going to begin. So go ahead and write down your goal or the intention that you have for yourself in any of those 7 areas of life, and then let's go ahead and move to step 2. Step 2 is going to be giving yourself a general timeline. This is very important because you don't want to be out here just doing anything. And once again, you want to make sure that you're targeted and you actually get to that goal, that achievement, that success that you want. So this could be saying, okay, I'm going to give myself a year to accomplish this. Or maybe you even do something smaller, like you have a 30-day program. Let's go with that example. We're going to talk about like using the example of setting up this 30-day program for yourself. So let's say you have given yourself the 30 days, and if you're someone who's interested in law of attraction and metaphysics and that type of thing, one thing I always suggest is to use the lunar cycle to track your monthly period instead of the solar cycle. I am a big fan of using the different phases of the moon in order to track my goals, in order to take action, in order to use that energy to motivate and inspire me to, do what I need to do next. If you want me to talk more about that, or if you're interested in that, make sure to leave a comment below. And if I get enough feedback, then I will create a video on how to use the lunar cycle to track your goals and for goal achievement. But all in all, you want to give yourself a set time frame so that you know exactly what you're dealing with. This could be a year. This could be the lunar cycle, the solar cycle. Maybe you need a little bit longer. Maybe you want to work in the seasons. Maybe you want to work with maybe you're working in the career area of your life and you want to just use the business quarters. However you want to do it, whatever you want to do is fine. Just make sure that you set yourself a time frame. Step 3 is going to be selecting small daily commitments. So I suggest that you aim for 5 to 7. And a few tips for you here. I do advise that you aim for small. I know a lot of people want to, go for the big thing, but let's say you're working in the area of health and fitness and you're like, I really want to gain that 20 pounds or lose that 20 pounds. It's January right now. Many people are setting their New Year's goals or their New Year's resolutions, and then you'll see that some people will say, you know what, I'm going to start going to the gym 2 hours every day, Monday through Friday, and that's how I'm going to begin my journey. Chances are you're not going to do that. You're not going to last. You're not going to make it. You're going to get demotivated, you're gonna get off balance, and then that leads to just not being consistent in those daily intentions, which leads to failure in our overall goal. I think it's better to select small activities that are flexible, that are easy for you to commit to. This way you're easily building that consistency. You get the satisfaction of, at the end of the day, saying, yes, I did that, I accomplished that, and you want to do it more tomorrow. And then also, if you choose something small, say it's like going for a walk. I'm going to just start going for a walk every day. Or for the next 30 days in our example. I'm going to take a walk every day for the next 30 days. In the beginning, that walk could be around the block, and you never know where that walk could lead you at the end of that 30 days. So over the 30 days, I'm pretty sure you're going to want to walk a little bit farther. You're going to want to maybe pick up the speed. Maybe over time, you're going to add on ankle weights or something like that. You know, so choosing small daily commitments allows you flexibility. It allows you to get this sense of satisfaction, which leads to consistency, but it also allows those practices to grow with you. I am looking at my notes down here, and I do have a few more tips for you to create your 5 to 7 daily commitments. So let's talk about those. So a few suggestions for you. You can select one new thing to do. Of course, when we're talking about self-transformation and personal development, this goes back to building habits, thoughts, beliefs, and patterns of behavior. Those patterns of behavior become our habits. Those habits become our lifestyle. So if we're trying to create a new habit, we can say, okay, what's one small thing that I can begin to do? Opposite to that, we can say, you know, maybe I can achieve success by breaking a bad habit. So, or an unsupportive habit, let's call it that, an unsupportive habit. So we can say, okay, well, what's one small thing that I can refrain from doing? Another suggested activity that I have for you is to use aromatherapy. I'm a big believer in aromatherapy, and since I just gave you the example of breaking a bad habit, black pepper essential oil. Black pepper essential oil is great for breaking bad habits. A lot of people use it to help them stop smoking. So I know personally when I'm really dealing with something that I want to stop doing, and perhaps I've created this 30-day plan around how can I get from point A to point B, and it includes that. Maybe I feel that I can support myself by diffusing some black pepper essential oil, or maybe rubbing it on my hands and just having a little bit of a deep breathing session one time of day. And then, of course, this is also where you can bring in your metaphysical and law of attraction type activities. Maybe you find that mindfulness meditation, yoga, Nidra, EFT, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about those in the final section. But maybe you find that I got a phone call and it interrupted my camera, but we're picking it back up. Maybe you find that you can support yourself with metaphysical or law of attraction practices. This could also include things like appreciation journaling, or, you know, anything. This is where you can begin to bring in those practices and say, you know what, I'm going to commit to doing these things once a day for myself over the next 30 days in order to support my overall goal or my intention. Step 4, we can really call it, this could be a step or we could call it a tip. This is creating a morning and evening routine. This is something that I advise everyone to do, because if we're just following this framework, by the time we get to this creating 5 to 7 small daily commitments, once again, we want to increase our chances of success. We want to increase our commitment. And a good way of doing that is just by structuring your day. Now, maybe your commitments are things that you need to do throughout the day, but if you can create a small pocket of space in the morning and a small pocket of space in the evening where you can cluster some of these activities together, this is going to make sure that you get everything done that you would like to get done, and that you actually have, once again, time and space set aside, so you don't run into that obstacle of, well, I didn't know what to do, or I just didn't have the time, or I got so busy. If you don't make the time, you're not going to have the time. And if you're on your personal development or your self-transformation journey, hopefully you have chosen a goal or an intention that is really serious and important to you, and that's also motivating you. But creating this structure throughout your day in order to increase your adherence to those daily commitments is definitely going to help. Okay, now I want to give you some suggested activities and talk about a few things that you can do if you are interested in law of attraction and metaphysics. And of course, these are going to include some resources here from Higher Alignment. The first thing I would suggest that someone do every day if you are using law of attraction or manifestation for self-transformation or personal development is going to be the appreciation journaling exercise. Appreciation journaling allows you to shift the focus of your attention. We all know that where attention goes, energy flows. It is a wonderful way to manifest the causes and conditions and the experiences that you would like in your life from a positive and beneficial perspective. It's a great journaling activity. It's great for stress relief and even just recentering your mind away from negative events and experiences in your life. I have a how-to video on that technique, so I'm going to include that link in the description box. Another activity that I suggest is mindfulness meditation, shamatha, jine. It goes by many names. This is a practice that allows you to sharpen the focus of your awareness. It really is a mind training technique, but it can go on to develop into other things. So perhaps if you're here on Higher Alignment, you're also interested in lucid dreaming and dream work, which is another suggested activity that I think everyone should engage in if you're interested in this arena. But mindfulness meditation, it's great for stress relief. It helps you develop more patience, more emotional stability, and increase in self-awareness. And it can also help deepen and develop your other metaphysical, esoteric, spiritual practices. You also have EFT tapping. That is a fan favorite. EFT tapping, it stands for the emotional freedom technique. I have an entire playlist on this technique. It works by tapping on the body, and I often combine it with NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and I use this in order to shift thoughts, beliefs, and patterns of behavior, which is exactly what we're dealing with when we're talking about self-transformation and personal development. A lot of people also like working with crystals in a variety of ways, different strokes for different folks. One of the main ways that I like working with crystals is just wearing them as jewelry, allowing that crystal energy to be in my auric or my energetic field and to open myself up to the influence of that crystal jewelry. I'm going to include the link to my physical shop where I have tons of crystal jewelry, all handmade products. You can check those out as well. You can see in this section, I'm trying to load you up with resources. And then the last thing that I want to give you is a free course on personal development. It's a free course. It has 3 or 4 parts. Sorry, I should have probably looked at the details right before I started filming. But it's going to take you through my foundations of goal achievement, and it has a free workbook that has tons of self-exploration activities, journaling prompts, and exercises to help you get things together in the personal development area of your life in order to solidify your goals and to develop those 5 to 7 daily intentions. It's going to help you with all of that, okay? Overall, from this video, you should have learned how to take your goal or the intention that you have set for yourself and create a well-rounded, fully developed personal development or goal achievement plan to help you get there. Of course, here on Higher Alignment, I specialize in metaphysical techniques for personal development. So I do suggest that you add a few of those in there, maybe some mindfulness meditation, some yoga nidra. Subliminal affirmations are a really easy way to reprogram and influence your unconscious mind. And you can play those while you're sleeping. So you can make this really easy for yourself. You can add in those metaphysical techniques. You can keep it purely practical. It can work in any of the 7 areas of life: health and fitness, relationships, career, finance, personal development, spirituality, or recreation. Just follow the framework. Check out that first video so you get those self-exploration exercises, and you can really customize this and make it work for you. Don't forget to check out the description box. I'm going to have the link to that free personal development course with that workbook for you, as well as links to other videos that I mentioned in this one that I feel like could assist you. So make sure that you stick around, and I'll see you back soon for part 3.